Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Sports Doctor is In. My name is Earl Rush, and I'm here with my co-host and my broadcast partner, Larry Abels. Larry, how are you today?
I'm good, sports doctor. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to talk about what has transpired the last couple of days in the
Okay.
NBA Finals. All right. So it's 3-2 Oklahoma now. Your thoughts on the game, first of all. I already know who you said you were going to win. You both said Oklahoma was going to win, but
Yeah, I guess the last time we talked, Indy was up 2-1.
yeah,
But last couple of games, Oklahoma has been able to pull it out. But I'll tell you, man, this reminds me of like, a real serious fight. Like, let's say if Aaron Pryor had to fight Roberto Duran, how both of them would just slug it out, would not give it up. That's how these teams look. They really look like, both teams got a lot of heart and they're going at each other.
okay, yeah. Well, I was wrong. I mean, I'm not going to be wrong about Oklahoma winning, but I was wrong. I thought that Oklahoma was definitely a much better team than Indiana, and I was wrong. Indiana's a very good team, and they're not that far apart. And I don't know why they're not, but they're not that far apart from each other. So I was wrong about that, and I thought Oklahoma would win in 4 or 5, but
One thing
I'm
that,
not gonna be surprised if it goes to 7.
and if it goes 7, it could be anybody's game.
No, I already told you Oklahoma's winning. So.
I was kind of shocked by all of the prognosticators and everyone else, all the talking heads on TV, acting as if Oklahoma would sweep them or beat them in 5 games. And when I saw those two teams play, the whole playoffs, I mean, you could tell they were pretty evenly matched. The other thing is, I think Oklahoma is a little younger. Some of the things they do are, I can see their inexperience sometimes. They do have a very good team. Some of their turnovers, they have some unforced turnovers sometimes, or a couple of games, just real lazy turnovers. Where when I see Indiana, they generally don't. But last night they got them and they had a couple of really poor turnovers in the fourth quarter, which kind of turned the tide.
Right. Well, it's a good series. Do you think the series is over, or do you think it's going to 7?
Oh, I expect that Indiana will win the next game. So I'm thinking it'll be 7 games.
Are you for serious?
Yeah.
Really? Hmm.
What do you think? You think
No, Oklahoma's winning this. It's over the next game.
next game? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. They put up a good fight, man. They put up a good fight. They have a good team. They're not better than Oklahoma.
Well, coming into this series and even early in the series, Indiana has been able to steal a game that it looked like they were going to lose, and no one had done that to them until game 4.
Right.
And usually they stole the first game against Cleveland, they stole the first game against New York, and they stole the first game against Oklahoma City. And until now, no one could ever have a series lead on them. This is the first time they faced a deficit.
Yeah.
And I just have I got a lot of respect for them.
I have a lot of respect for them too, but it's over. Yeah. It's not going to 7.
Well, they hadn't lost 2 games in a row since like March or something like that, or January. So it's probably been March, and they finally lost 2 in a row. You think they'll make it 3 in a row? In that game, when is that? Thursday. That'll be 3 games in a row. You think OKC's capable of beating them 3 games in a row? Now all they got to do is one game to achieve that. But the way I look at Indiana, they've been able to make adjustments most of the time.
I got that. I hear you. I understand that they're a great team. It's over there.
Okay. Why is it over? Is it because Halliburton is less than 100%?
No, that's not why. He no. O'Connell plays just as well as what he does. O'Connell is just as effective as Halliburton has been. So it don't matter. If Halliburton not being 100% ain't got nothing to do with it. Now him being 100% could make it different because he comes up pretty big in the clutch, but they don't need Halliburton to beat them. They don't need Halliburton to beat Oklahoma.
Okay, so McConnell plays like he's been playing.
That's what I'm saying. Halliburton, even before he got supposedly hurt yesterday, the whole series, he has not been as efficient or as effective as O'Connell. So, I mean, what do you want me to say?
But he normally gets you, double-digit points. And last night he got 0. And one thing about him, he still made a couple of nice passes yesterday. I didn't really see Oklahoma City trying to go at him. If he's supposed to have a bad leg, I expected him to clear out and switch off on him. And I didn't see Oklahoma City trying to go at him. What's up, Cuzzo? How you doing? Oh, man. Are you trying to add him, Earl?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I got him.
Hey,
right.
What's up, Cuzzo?
What's up, man? Sorry I'm late, man. Work, traffic, my bad.
Man, you're right on time. Don't worry about it.
No, he's late. He's not late. But you get here when you can get here. You got.
We have to dock his pay or something like that.
All fun. Business is business. You had to work. Ain't no problem.
Yeah, man. I had to.
Yeah.
I'm here now, though. Y'all know. Y'all know what I got to say.
I just want to tell you, I feel kind of comfortable around you, so I might just say anything. Don't get sensitive. I'm just a wild dude. That's all.
He's not.
Hey, we good, man. We good.
All right.
He ain't made wet tissue paper. So we were just talking about. Well, we can ask him the same question. Is the series over?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I said it before and I'll say it again. The Pacers are not better than them, and Tyrese is not that good.
So, but one thing, Earl and I were talking before last night's game was something that you told us last week. You said you liked the way TJ McConnell played.
And y'all saw what he did last night.
And well, we were talking about it before last game after the previous game. And we said, "Dang, Cuzzo said that," and I was telling Earl, I said, "I think he's just like I just thought he was a regular guy." And we were saying we got to give Cuzzo props. And then last night he came up even bigger.
Yeah, he's a good player for them, for sure.
Yeah.
Robert Woods, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Robert, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Cuzzo, finish telling them why you think it's over.
Well, number one, I feel like the Pacers are getting tired. And I said that at the beginning, too. I don't think they could run with them over a course of a series. Last night, they got close. They were down by like 4 or 5 at one point. I thought they were going to come back and win. And they just let their foot off the gas. I think they're losing the drive. And now you got some young brothers who one game away from getting the ring. I think it's over for them.
Who's going to win game 6?
OKC.
Okay, so you and Earl on the same page. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's done.
I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana wins that game. I really
based off the books.
I told me tripping, but
No, I'll tell you why.
Hey,
okay,
if the Pacers win, it's because the big man wants them to win.
The big man might be Siakam.
Just so they can have a game 7.
But here's the thing. Even though last night, and I think Earl, we were talking about this. the bench players for Oklahoma City, I told you I expected their bench players to play better. And they played well. They hit shots. Plus, they got 40 points from Williams and 31 from SGA, and they still didn't blow them out of that game.
They didn't have to blow them out. This is not no Olympic competition. They won. They did what they did. They won. It really won by 1 point or 31. It didn't matter.
Yeah, but when you get that much firepower, I would have thought they would have, smoked them by about 20.
Why would you smoke them when we all have already said that we realize that the teams are closer than we thought they were? Well, I didn't because of thought, but you and I both said we realized that they're not that far apart. So why would you think that they're going to just crush them?
No, I think when you get your bench playing like their bench played, they had a bunch of threes, people that hadn't been scoring. Then you get 40 and 31 from two starters. I mean, that seems like that should be enough to really hurt them. And they still came right back at them. If I was Indiana's coach,
they won by 9 or 10, right? We won
at the end there. But if I was Indiana's coach, I would have said Halliburton down, and I would have put McConnell back in.
He did towards the end, but
he waited too long.
I blame that on the coach. Halliburton should have been getting ready for the next game if possible. If it was going to be sore, it may be sore a couple of games, but he didn't need to be out there on the court. You didn't have to be brilliant person to realize Halliburton was not being able to be effective because he wasn't effective. He was producing nothing. Those kind of things happen to players who are not superstars. If you're a superstar, you don't look like that. They have not scored no points the whole game.
No, definitely.
Okay.
He certainly had a poor game yesterday. I mean, no doubt about that.
I was just trying to be funny by bringing in that he's not a superstar. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Just like Stephen A. said, this guy ain't no superstar. Period. Before he got hurt, he was ineffective.
Stephen A. know what he's talking about though. A lot of the time.
How you doing, Phyllis?
Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I just wouldn't be surprised if Indiana wins the next game. I'm still looking for OKC to win the whole thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd be surprised. That's like, unless what Cuzzo said, like I always say, if the advertisers want another game, they'll get another game.
Yep.
I hate to be cynical and think that way, but
I don't think Oklahoma City cares about the advertisers.
No,
and I think the officiating has been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been fair. It's been fair.
They miss calls on both sides, but it hasn't been favoring one team at all. Yeah. I don't expect that to change.
I think some of the announcers on the TV, they are rooting for Indiana. Oh, Shea Gilgeous pushed him. He pushed him again. I mean, they were making like a huge thing about it and running it back. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
The way they fouling him, he's gonna have to push off sometimes. They are fouling the crap out of SGA every time he touches the ball.
Oh, I think Indiana's guards, Neesmith and the other one, Nembhard, when they were playing New York, they were doing the same thing to Brunson. I mean, it's a physical game, but refs were letting them play, so let it go down both ends.
They were hacking, man. They were hacking. They'd be hacking. Man. I thought they were good defensively, but I watched last night. They just hacking them. They just hacking their SGA, man. I'm dang.
Yep. But one thing is they're getting tired. What do you do when you get tired on defense? You foul. Start using your hands. That's what they was doing. Okay. I think OKC got them right where they want them.
That's what I'm saying. They're done. Yeah. I don't know why I can't see it, but you know.
All I'm saying, I just said I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana won the next game.
I'm surprised that you wouldn't be surprised. It's over. Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
They got to get somebody on TJ.
They
So,
got-
go ahead, Earl.
So, Cuzzo, do you think the coach should have left Halliburton on the floor, or do you think he should have taken him off? What do you think?
I think that I think he should have taken him out. However, there have been games where he plays bad and then he starts hitting shots late at the game. So I feel like for the sake of the team, probably had taken him out. He wasn't doing anything. He was taking up space. Yeah,
That's why
he
I'm
was
giving that ball on the coach.
yeah.
I'm playing the ball from Carlisle.
And I also feel like Tyrese should have turned it on at some point. I mean, he wasn't even taking shots. He wasn't even taking shots really. I think he took 7 shots the whole game. Like, come on, even if you're a scorer, like 7 shots is nothing, man. You're supposed to keep going if you're really a star. And I just feel like he dropped the ball, and it's not like he had a whole lot of assists. I think he had 6 or maybe 7 or something like that.
He wasn't producing. He looked scared more so. He looked scared to me more so than injured. But I know that
Y'all are some tough boys.
I'm telling you.
I thought for the time he played, he did have a few nice assists. What he didn't do last night that he normally does that opens his game up is drive to the hole. I think he settled for all jump shots. I was surprised that Oklahoma City didn't try to switch off and get him isolated one-on-one and just see how well he could move. They didn't even do that.
I know you gotta have some kind of pride, and you can't look like you're a female dog because you said I'm hurt, put me out. But if he was hurt so bad where he couldn't be effective, he made a mistake by not saying anything. Okay, I know you want to act like you got courage and you're gonna play through it, but either the injury hurt him so bad that he couldn't be moved, or he was scared. It was one of the two. I don't know. Either way, if he was scared, he should have said, "Get me out of here." If he, I'm scared, or if he's hurt, he should have said, "I'm hurt, man." That's all. He produced nothing, Larry. He produced no.
I didn't believe.
Well, especially since McConnell was doing so well, he could have probably said, turn it over to him.
Yeah, you don't turn it back to him. People say I'm second guessing. I'm not second guessing. This guy scored 17 points in a quarter. You take him out and bring in this guy who he didn't look like he was hurt to me. He looked like he was scared. He wasn't limping when he was moving the ball.
I don't believe none of that. You an athlete. We've all played basketball. Your ankle hurt. If you can still walk on it, you probably still gonna play, especially if you a star. You know what I'm saying? You ice it, you put your leg up.
You can't play. If you can't play, you can't play.
Exactly. So you sit down. You don't play like garbage and then make excuses. Can't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't do that.
I noticed he didn't take any plays to the hoop though. And almost every game he kind of does that. If I'm the coach and I'm seeing that, then I'm thinking he's not his regular self. And McConnell was taking people to the hole.
What about I'm not being effective? The coach needs to put O'Connell back in. How about that? Okay, you can be called a girl, you can be called soft, whatever, but let's think about the team.
Yeah,
if you were so hurt that you couldn't even drive, you don't even be playing.
Yep.
Hey, I have no argument with that. I think if I was the coach, I would have set him down, particularly since McConnell was doing all of that to them, screaming at the crowd, they can't check me and stuff like that.
Yep.
Exactly.
I was dying when he said that.
Okay. But I know what you're saying. It seemed like they should have scored more, but would it made a difference if they had scored by much more?
No, I don't. I'm not sure they could have done much more. Indiana could have done much more, even had he played. I mean, they did okay. I mean, they didn't do poorly. They
Right.
did poorly when Halliburton was in there.
They
But
played well most of the game till the end. They just said, "No, we're not letting y'all come back do all that. We just not having that." That's all.
Yep.
yeah, they hung in there and finished the job.
Yep.
They made it a great series. They made
It's done
great
now.
series. It's just over. That's all.
So you need to ask Cuzzo the question you asked me earlier. MVP.
Okay.
The finals.
Yeah.
Is okay? No. Okay.
It might be Jalen.
If okay, if they both have great games, the next game and Oklahoma wins, or if Jalen Williams scores 40
Mhm.
and say SGA only scores 24, he don't go. He only scores 20. Who's the MVP? Is that a tough decision or
Nah, it's not tough for me because, like I said, when we were talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Jalen Williams, he gets overshadowed by Shea. So when you come out and you score 40, the odds are on you. Then you look at the points that he scored each game. He's gotten better each game throughout this series.
Right.
There were some games where Shea didn't do as well as we would have expected him to. And that's why I think that Jalen Williams probably should get Finals MVP because he was a wild card. If he didn't score 40 last night, they wouldn't have won.
Okay. Well, what I told Larry was, I'm going through the whole body of work. There's been a game or two where Jay Williams did not really come up. One game he was missing, and another game he was all right. But SGA has had 30 every game, except for one game he scored 24, and they won that game. How you gonna get an MVP?
I mean, again,
come on. How can you have the first game he scored 8 points? How's he gonna split? How's he gonna win MVP and SGA had 30 every game?
All right, so this is Jalen Williams. Game 1, he had 17. Game 2, he had 19. Game 3, he had 26. Game 4, he had 27. Game 5, he had 40. He's the reason why they should be up in this series more. I think it shouldn't be 3-2. I think it should be 3-1 or something like that. But even with that being said, I mean, he's answering the call. He's answering the call. Then you got people on the team like
Can you read off SGA's numbers for me, please?
Sure. I can tell you. He had 38, 34, 24, 35, and 31.
Okay.
You want me to go back to we only talk about the finals.
Okay, but you want me to okay, all right. What you said. You presented your case. I got you.
I didn't hesitate when you asked me earlier.
No. I
didn't hesitate.
I'm telling Cuzzo, he started naming. I didn't even want to go in the number because that wouldn't even be close. But just saying what he think.
But my point is this though. If Jalen Williams was scoring 15 or 14 points every single game, they would not be winning the series. They wouldn't be winning the series.
Well, no, they definitely needed scoring, but I mean, what if Shea was only scoring that?
And that's another thing too. But the Oklahoma City Thunder is Shea. That's his team. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the fashion that they won last night, the energy he's brought, I think it's a fair idea to say that he could win Finals MVP. If he comes out next game and he has 35 or 40 again or whatever, I think he deserves it. He earned it.
And even if Shea gets 30 again?
If it were me, I think Jalen Williams earns it. I
so let me ask you, what does Shea have to do to get it? What does Shea have to do? He also had 10 assists last night, too.
Did you say two games? You said 2 games over 35 points? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he had 1 game with 35 and 1 with 38.
Wow.
I think like of course, most people would say it should be Shea. But I just think
we just wanted to answer the question because it makes good conversation for the show. We knew
Yeah,
you.
no, definitely.
Either way
think,
you went, we knew we wanted to hear your opinion because we respect your opinion. That's all.
And we
I
gotta be jealous
appreciate that,
about
man.
McConnell. You know, we got to check with you on everything now. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
who
I
was
just,
it?
you're not gonna be right all the time.
yeah, for
That's
sure,
all.
for
That's
sure,
all. Yeah.
for sure.
So what if Indiana would have won it right now? If the series is over and Indiana won, who would be the MVP for Indiana?
Pascal.
Right.
Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement with that.
Yeah.
Yep, Pascal.
Yeah.
No question.
Or not.
No question.
It's I don't know why I keep harping on this because I just want people to agree with me and say what I is Halliburton a superstar?
Hey, I say it again. He is not that good. And he showed it last night.
No, he's good, and I'm not gonna. I think he's good. He's just not a superstar. He's good. I'm thinking that he made a mistake by playing if he was really that hurt. If he wasn't really that hurt,
Well, anybody can have a bad game anyway.
But you can't have a bad game.
Anybody can have a bad game, but when I look at his whole body of work, he's pretty much, when we first started talking about him, you know, like last year or whatever, third team All NBA. That's about what he is. You know, he made third team All NBA, and that's the best I expect him to do.
He made some clutch shots. I don't want to be a prisoner of recent times. He's been pretty clutch, but I don't even think he's third team All NBA. But that's just me.
No, I mean, when I say that, that's what I thought that would be the best he would do.
I don't think he's All NBA, man. He ain't All NBA. That's all I'm saying. And I've seen him play. I'm not gonna make a judgment on him, and I haven't seen him play like other people that we know have done.
But he's a decent player. I mean,
I would comment on him. I ain't gonna comment on something you've seen.
Here's my thing though. If you having a bad shooting night and you're a true point guard, like people say Halliburton is, he could have had 13 assists, 14 assists. We've seen him do it before. You know what I'm saying? Grab 9-10 rebounds. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Do something. You know, he's just out there running in circles and just passing the ball. Like, come on, man. We need you to do better than that. And it's sad because this big thing of he's the most what was it, overrated or underrated or
overrated.
Right.
Overrated. He proven it. Come on now. You're supposed to be a star. This is game 5 of the final.
Do you think he just had a bad game, Cuzzo? Or do you think
no, I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good.
I'm talking about last night. Something had to attribute to that piss poor performance. It's either he was hurt more than he let on, or what?
I think he kept missing shots, and I think he didn't want to keep missing. That's what I think. If he was hurt, sit your ass down. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. To me, all jump shots. He had 6 assists and 7 rebounds. I mean, when I saw him selling for all jump shots, I knew he wasn't playing his regular game.
Well, that's what we say. That's what we say. But and I don't like to give him credit because I think people playing defense is overrated. Even though I think Oklahoma, I want to recount myself. I said Oklahoma had the best defensive team I've seen, and then I was tripping. They was nowhere near as good as Chicago when they had Jordan, Harper, Rodman, and they had another long dude that played defense. Oklahoma's defense was not as good as Chicago Bulls defense back in the day, but Oklahoma has a good defensive team. It could be Lou Dort just beating him up and shoving him down, and maybe I don't want to acknowledge that. Lou Dort was on him, but maybe he was on him because he was hurt and he couldn't move like he normally could. But Dort was on him last night and beating him up too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for the excuses. I'm not going to take up for Tyrese. This is game 5. I mean, seriously, he played. Look, he played 34 minutes last night. That don't sound hurt to me. He played 34 minutes last night.
The coach left him in there too long for what he was. He was definitely standing around the perimeter. I mean, he didn't even really, even though he did get like 7 rebounds. So I guess he went inside a few times.
No, he ain't going inside. How about him getting the long rebound? We don't know whether he went inside and got a long rebound.
Yeah, he was good. He just happened to be there a lot of the time, and he was just grabbing it and going. And I mean, he wasn't even running around screens. He wasn't even curling around screens trying to get jumpers. He was just, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. It's poor performance, man. Piss poor. It's terrible. Now, you know somebody I do want to bring up?
Who's that?
Chet. That man is soft as tissue paper. Every time I looked up at the TV, this man on the floor, getting up off the floor. I'm like, come on, man. You got to get in the gym. Kept getting pushed. Then you saw old boy dunk on him in the last minute. Did y'all see that?
Did you talk to Earl about him offline?
No, I didn't. I was just thinking last night, I'm like, man, this guy is just soft. I haven't seen someone that soft, that's 7 feet tall.
Wow.
The problem I have with him is his judgment sometimes. Yep. He be trying to spin and take people. So I see that he got heart and everything, because sometimes he be trying to dribble through traffic and stuff like that. And I kind of keep going back. He's probably like 21 or 22, so he's a real young guy.
I don't care if he's 15, Larry.
No, I don't want to take away. Well, where you'll say he's soft, and of course that always says, does he have heart to play? I think he tries to do stuff that he can't do, and then sometimes he's very lazy. Like when he takes the ball out, he doesn't see the defense there. He throws the ball right to the other team sometimes.
Yep.
And I think he tries to move on people. He's just not strong enough to do it.
Man, soft, man, frail. That man is frail. I'm saying he getting pushed around by everybody. It's sad.
I can't see Larry. Did Kung Fu come on? I ain't seen Kung Fu.
No, he hasn't come on yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So much for that. So
I got something for both of y'all.
Larry could possibly see Jalen Williams winning as well, MVP.
I mean, I feel like it's a fair argument.
I asked, was it a tough question? And Larry said, yeah, it's kind of tough. I said, no, it ain't even tough. It's not even tough.
No, remember, I immediately said SGA is going to win it, but I thought the question was legit.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So let me ask you guys something. Durant is going to be traded sometime soon.
Yep.
Where do you think the best fit is for him? And I've been hearing San Antonio, Houston. Who else did I hear? I heard the Knicks, but I heard the Knicks weren't interested in him.
Right. And I heard he wasn't interested in who was it? It was somebody he wasn't interested in. It's tough, man. I don't know where he's a good fit in, because he needs to be somewhere where he can be a star. He doesn't need to be with other superstars, in my opinion. He needs to be with maybe one other guy that's pretty good, and the rest are really good role players.
Right.
KD needs to be able to go out and score 30 every night, 40 when he needs to. Right. I think that was the problem in Phoenix. It was too much star power. KD needs the ball to do what he has to do. So
KD needs a big man on his team, man.
Yeah, he does.
They didn't have one.
And that's another thing too. They be playing KD at like the 4, and sometimes I've seen him play at the 5. He don't need to be playing there. He needs a good power forward and a good center, and let his ass play the 3 like he used to.
Well, KD need a point guard too. Phoenix didn't have that. They lacked that. They didn't have a point guard. Some teams need point guards and stuff. Some teams don't.
Yep.
So you think he'll be the main? He needs to be the main man on a team.
I do. I do.
I think the perfect fit for KD is to go to San Antonio, like I told you before we went on the show.
Okay.
You gotta San Antonio.
That sounds kind of like what Coach said, but they got some other ballers on that team.
That's all right. That's all right. You go to San Antonio, but the best fit for him,
Yeah.
is Houston.
Well, that's the team. That's really what Cozo said.
They got that young center. That boy good. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he legit. He going down there and
they got Amen Thompson.
Thompson.
Yeah.
You know? And they got another young boy. He be tripping sometimes, but he can play too. Is it Green or something? They got another boy that can go. He'd be great at Houston. Plus, they ain't got no state taxes.
They need a shooter on that squad though.
Yeah,
that's what, because they had like second best record in the West, but they
Kevin
couldn't.
Durant is plug and play on any team. He has all kinds of skills.
Yeah.
This guy even though he's from here, we may take him for granted. So he's one of the greatest scorers in the NBA that ever played.
You still think he got stuff left? He's about 36 now, right?
It don't matter. Yeah. If he don't dunk it on you, he'll shoot that three in your face.
I don't know. He's built kind of like the boy out in Oklahoma City, man. I thought you might say he's soft or something like that, man.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Talk about Kevin Durant.
That boy from up the street. Ain't nothing soft about him.
Talk about Kevin Durant.
He from right up the street. He knows what's going on.
He ain't. Come on, he from DC, an area from that. Come on.
Now I'm gonna say something crazy.
All right.
I think KD. I was trying to think of a team, and I would even say somebody like maybe like the Pistons. Some young guys who are really fired up. He got Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is a great guard, and I feel like somewhere like that would also be enough for people to look for him to do his thing. I feel like that's all KD needs. But he also has that stigma of like, you can't beat him, join him. He needs to win by himself, in my opinion. So I think that's why he needs some good role players around him and good big man, someone he can rely on, and a coach that's going to tell them to give KD the damn ball. So I don't know. KD only got a few more years left, though, so he need to make the right choice now, because the league is only getting more difficult.
Right. Good point. Hearing you guys talk, Houston seems like that team. They need a shooter. I look at Detroit as Cade Cunningham's team.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hand the keys over.
How do you feel about him?
He's got a nice game. Not enough, though, for them to be what they want to be. He's not enough. He needs somebody else there, too. But, I mean, they work well for what they have, and he took the team on his shoulders like he was supposed to. I mean, I feel like they've got a pretty decent squad, too. They're just not as good. There are a lot of decent squads out there now. But I feel like Cade Cunningham is up there. When you think of the Pistons, you think of Cade Cunningham. You definitely do.
I think he can flat out ball.
Yeah. That's his team for sure.
So let me ask both of you gentlemen. I'll start with you, Cuzzo, then I'll go on to Larry. Well, I guess if it's just only you two, and I'm starting with you, then Larry will be the only one that I can start asking. Okay. Anyhow, Cuzzo, what do you think about Turner?
Evan Turner?
For Indianapolis.
Miles Turner.
Yeah, what do you think about his game?
I want to call him soft, but I'm just not going to just say it.
Y'all be talking. Y'all talk offline, man.
We don't. The boy's soft. He don't like being a center. He want to be a small forward or something. I don't know what it is, but he don't like being a center.
We don't talk offline. We just look at. Sometimes people just look at things how things are. They don't make shit complicated. They like to say that
a conspiracy.
That's the same thing I said, cuz of.
Yep.
Like, he all right, he all right, he all right. Why I always try to give people benefit of the doubt and stuff, Come on.
Hell no. They get paid millions to do this, and he got to be better than that.
I will seldom criticize somebody or say I just say they can't play. Yeah. I just don't think Turner's necessarily that good, but I think he's a rotational player. Okay. If he was on my team, I could find some minutes for him.
So, Cuzzo, what do you think about? Is it just playing against Oklahoma, or do you think he's better than? Or some people think of? What do you think about Obi Toppin?
I think he's a wild card. There are games where he pisses me off. Then there are some games where he's exactly what they need to get him over the hump. The boy plays defense. He can hit a shot, but he can also miss a shot. So he's a wild card, man. I think he's decent though. He plays with I would say he plays with heart. He tries when he gets on the floor, kind of like Dort does. Like they both play with heart. They both try. They both make it and miss shots. He's a wild card.
I guess I'm on the same page. I just say probably needs to be a little more consistent.
Yeah. Right.
But I could definitely find minutes for him. And I think he has so much athleticism. He's probably the most athletic guy on their team. You think about size, and he has a great jump shot, very good jump shot. He can hit the three. He hits the boards well.
Yep.
But he's just got to be a little more consistent.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So what do you think about Larry's boy? What's his name?
Who?
Not Nimhard, the other boy.
Nesmith.
Yeah, Nesmith. He got hot that one game in 7 lives.
I don't know if he's my boy, but go ahead.
What do you think about him? What do you think about
him? I think he's cool. He's a good player. But I do know one thing. If I was the coach of the Pacers, he need to get his shit together because TJ would be on the court more than him. That's my personal opinion. TJ would be on the court more than him. All of their backup guards would have to worry about TJ because TJ understands the pace. He understands where to go. Nimhart, I feel like he gets – sometimes he can't play up to the lights. Sometimes the pressure kind of just numbs him down a little bit. I think he's a decent player though. He is. I don't really have a problem with him.
Okay. All right.
I think both of those guys are better than TJ on the defensive side of the court. I can put them on people and they can guard people.
I can agree with that.
I think Nimhard is really so overwhelmed playing defense that he really can't even focus on offense now.
I could agree.
If I'm Indiana's coach, I want to get Nesmith some shots earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Because he can shoot.
Yep, he sure can. He sure can. But, he's got a tough task. He's got a tough task. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's playing up to the lights. He's on the big stage now. You're playing the best guard, arguably the best player in the league. Right. You got to do something, but at the same time, we're talking about Shea. He can't do nothing with Shea, so he out of luck. He's out of luck.
Well, they've made Oklahoma City change their ball handling, though. Shea doesn't bring it down as much. Good for them. They got Williams that can handle the ball, but he got them out of their regular offense. And that's Nimhard to me. Just bugging him. I think he's just so familiar with him. Like when you play on a team with somebody, I know they played on a Canadian team together. You just kind of know people after a while. And they grew up playing together. That'd be like me and you, Earl.
No, I wouldn't. I couldn't be nowhere near as close to you as Nimhard is.
I don't know about that.
You've been shook on me all.
But I think you and I were probably, when we guarded each other, that was probably the best matchup.
Yeah,
No, I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
yeah, what he said. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. And I mean that's fair. But I mean, like y'all said, he getting 30 dropped on his head every night, so he can't guard him that good. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's making them work. Even the first game where SGA got 38 points, he had to shoot 30 times.
Yep.
And the other thing he stopped doing was fouling so much. I mean, I guess SGA has got to the foul line the last couple of games.
Yep.
Prior to that, and Nembhard wasn't fouling him as much.
Yeah.
He's been able to defend him without fouling him as much. But I think he's got his hands full.
I mean, he does, and SGA is real crafty when he goes to the bucket. He's very crafty when it comes to people holding their arm in there trying to play defense. Foul me. He understands basketball, and he's real young, and that's good. I think they're gonna win the chip the next game they play, and I think it's very well deserved. They went out there, they played like they were supposed to, and they went against the critics. They had people thinking Indiana was better than them, and I put my foot down and I said no, they not. So I hope that they don't make me eat my words, but just knowing basketball, playing it, watching it for so long, I don't think they have anything to worry about. If they come out and play like it's over. It's over, man. It's over.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
It's over.
Wow.
I'm seeing every game has been a struggle, no matter who won. And I don't see why it would be any different. Even if they won by 10 points last night, that was still a struggle, till a certain point.
Sure was.
It was a good game.
Every game has been if you're a hoopster, I'm a hoop purist. Every game has been good.
So what if they come out next game and they blow the Pacers out?
Oh, that could happen. I mean, the thing that I like about this, I expect that to happen in a series anyway. Mm-hmm. It could go either way. And NBA players, some days they're just hot, That could happen, but I've got my money's worth. I mean, I would prefer 7 games, but this has definitely been money's worth. These teams to me are pretty evenly matched.
That's fair. I'm gonna still say I don't think so, but again, that's based on how they come and play on a certain night. And so I mean,
what about during the series? You don't think it's been evenly matched during the series?
I think the Pacers capitalize when OKC messes up. And yep, I agree. Me too.
Hey, Lauren, thanks for joining us, Lauren.
Me too.
Lauren, what's going on?
Me too. It's been worth the watch though. I kind of feel like I thought they was gonna start to blow them out last night around the third quarter, and they let them come back. And some of that kind of makes me raise my eyebrow because I'm like, are they trying to keep this game close? And then, I don't know. It's hard to call it.
Oh, Sharice, are y'all in the car? Okay, tell Sharice hello. We said hello.
Yeah, Sharice, what's up?
Those are Justin's sisters.
Okay.
But didn't you feel the same way that Indiana was going to blow Oklahoma City out the game before? And Oklahoma City came back and won, but I mean that game was definitely going Indiana's way in Game 4.
Yep. Yeah, but that was a game where Indiana made me eat my words. But the Thunder also kind of let off the gas. Last night they ain't let off the gas.
No. I'm talking about Game 4 when the Thunder won. They came back and won.
Well, the Pacers were turning the ball over way too much.
But they had a pretty big lead by about like 8 or 9 points, with about 4 minutes left or something like that. And then they couldn't score anymore.
Yep.
But I thought they was getting ready to put Oklahoma City away that day.
Yeah, and I did too, but when you look at the turnovers, I mean, you wouldn't really expect them to have won, just in my opinion. But They gave them a run for their money in Game 4 for sure. I just think that one thing about the Pacers is that if you don't have Pascal scoring the ball a whole lot, which he's been doing for the most part, he's been the best one on their team. That's not enough. And the problem is that the Pacers don't always have other people that are going to step up and hit big shots. They do sometimes, but I feel like I would expect the Thunder to do that more than I would the Pacers. And I feel like that's why the Thunder is going to win. I feel like that's why they won last night. And one thing too, Jalen showed them last night, y'all can't guard me. Y'all be worried about Shea too much. Y'all can't guard me. You look at the way that boy dribbles the ball, he goes through, he does exactly what he wants to do. And part of me thinks maybe he did that on purpose. He said, I'm gonna play with y'all for a few games. I'm about to show y'all something. Boy's nice.
I'm trying to ride with you because I like the things that you say, but I don't think he did that on purpose. Let's not get crazy.
40
Well, I mean,
points.
it's really an adjustment because they were double teaming and triple teaming Shea all the time because nobody else was hitting early on. If he hits his shot, Indiana's going to have a real tough time.
Yep.
And last night they had like about 4 guys hitting shots besides Shea.
Yep. And I mean, they let Jalen get aggressive. I mean, any hooper knows if you're a scoring hooper, once you get aggressive and you start to see that green light, you're gonna keep trying to score. Once you get hot, it's over. It's over. So I mean, I think last night was a good night for him, and I hope he does it again. Because if he scored 40 again, bye to the Pacers. They done. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I think if he can get 20 something, Oklahoma City will have a good chance of winning.
How do y'all think Tyrese is going to respond to his lackluster performance?
I think he's legitimately hurt, and I don't expect him to be better in 2 days. I think he's gonna respond by sitting down. Even though I heard the coach say he's gonna play.
So he sits down, and the Pacers lose the finals. Is it his fault, or is it the coach's fault?
That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. I would sit him down. If he's in the game, if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm going after him. I'm going to switch out. They didn't do enough of that last night. Whoever he's guarding, we're going to if Shea has the ball or Williams has the ball, his man's going to set the pick, and then we're going to clear out and see if he can move.
Yep, I can understand that.
And what I didn't see last night, even though he didn't go to the hold, he wasn't moving laterally that well. I mean, he made a few nice passes, but I think you mentioned it earlier, because he seemed like the ball like a hot potato, and he would get rid of it real quick. He did make a couple of nice passes, though. I got to give that to him.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not one for the excuses. If you hurt, sit your ass down, come sit right by the coach, and let's watch the game together. I'm
gonna make them. I'm gonna make them make that decision, because I'm gonna go at him if he can't move a defense, and that's a big part of their team playing defense. If he can't guard somebody, they got a problem.
Yep.
All right, so here we are. All three of us believe that we don't know what game of the series they're going to win, but as of now, we all believe that Oklahoma's going to win. Is that correct?
Yes, I don't think Indiana can beat them 2 games.
And I think the Thunder going to win next game.
Yeah, I do too. I do it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next game to me is more like 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana sucks it up and can win at home. But I don't see them winning in Oklahoma City. It's something about your bench players seem to play better at home.
Yeah.
Well, we covered
in Oklahoma City's guys can shoot it in Oklahoma City.
We covered a lot today. I want to cover one more topic before we wrap it up. We're going to go past the hour. I don't go that long. So, Cuzzo, what do you think about the trade that Memphis made.
With Desmond Bain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
he gave up 5 draft picks and 2 other players to get him. What is that about?
I don't know. I can't. I think it was stupid, but I can't speak on that. I mean, that was bad. Whoever's in their back office, that was a bad decision. I don't know if they're planning for the future or what, but I don't know. That was bad. In simplest terms, that was bad. Desmond Bain isn't worth all that to me.
Okay, Mr.
That's
Abrams,
just
your thoughts on
That was very similar to what the Knicks did to get Mikal Bridges. They gave up a lot. The only thing, one thing that I was looking at, I saw KCP left Orlando, and I was thinking Orlando wanted to get rid of his contract, and the other team said, "Well, if we're going to do that, you got to give us more than, and you want Baines, you're going to have to give us some players, especially if we're going to take on this contract because he's, probably on the downside of his career." The other thing that I look at is I'm not sure if people value draft picks anymore. And when I think about it, not that many guys coming out of college are really having that impact.
Well, that's true as well, Larry. That's a good point. That's a good point there. I think it was stupid because I'm looking at the numbers. I'm not giving up 5 draft picks to no one. For no one. That's just 5. I don't know. Those are assets. You're still assets. You still can trade them to other teams or something. You just don't give them away. You don't give up 5 picks, man. But this guy, are you kidding me?
Well, I think Bain is a good player though. And he kind of reminds me, just kind of like Mikal Bridges. He's a good guy to have on your team. I don't know if he's worth all those draft picks.
Mikal Bridges was a dumb move by.
No, I think both of them are guys that I could find minutes for. The price of them, I have a little question about the price of both of them. Both of them to me, Bain to me is a very consistent player. And when I look at Orlando's team with the guy from Duke, Poncho,
Right. Yeah.
The Wagner brothers, and they had another guy that was hurt a lot this year. I can't remember.
You don't have
his
a
name.
center or point guard, and I don't have a center or point guard.
Yeah,
but I think they have another player that could actually play right now, and they're probably looking at the East. I think a lot of people look at the East, that the East is wide open. I mean, Indiana will be back next year, but look, the Knicks are not really that strong. Philadelphia has been up and down for the last few years because Big Man can't stay healthy. Boston is going to be without Tatum for a while, so they might. And they finished like 4th or something this year, 4th or 5th or something like that. They probably figured they add a couple of players, they may be all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that shows teams who they need to trade is when somebody gets hurt. If they still do good without that player, then you start, maybe I can get 2 pieces for this one guy, 2 or 3 pieces or 2 players in a pick. And I feel like that's the bad thing about injuries because teams play better when that one star player is down, and then you realize maybe I just need a bunch more role players and we get the job done. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Because the Celtics might do just as good without Tatum, maybe. Who knows?
I'd be surprised. Another team that's not going to be as good as Milwaukee because Lillard's going to be out at the start of next year. He's got the same injury that Tatum has.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Want to thank Cuz for
absolutely
taking it to the show after his job.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And always special splash out to Mr. Larry Abrams.
Yes, sir.
This is always good conversation, man. I wish we had a run into Cuzzo earlier this season. But I guess we always got next season.
Yeah,
we ran into him when it was time. Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Phyllis. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So everyone, we'll be back here next Tuesday we'll be talking about Oklahoma victory. And
Yep.
until then, everybody has a very blessed, productive evening. I'm out of here. We're out of here. The Real Folks Talk Show Network presents the Sports Doctors In. Thank you, guys.